Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome to my video. We're going to be flying this Carenado C390, better known as a Premier 1A. We're going to be flying it from Philadelphia's Northeast Airport to JFK up in New York. It's a relatively short flight. We're going to be doing it from a cold and dark setup. Right now we just boarded our passengers, so we're going to go ahead and close up our doors, close our baggage door, close our passenger door. There we go, baggage door, and we'll go ahead and hop inside the plane. We are going to, we're going to switch to external power, kick our standby battery on, and we are going to put in our flight plan. So, which is really simple. We're going to be starting at KPNE origin to KJFK. Our alternate's going to be KBOS, BOS. I don't know why I picked that, but it did. We are going to start direct to ditch. Ditch. And then we're going to fly via Vector 312 or Victor 312V, nevertheless. 312. We're going to fly that to Wink, WINKK, and we're going to take from V44 to Cameron. Cameron. And that is our flight plan. Very simple, I told you. We'll check for any I think it's discontinuity or whatever it is. We're departure, I don't think there is one. We're going to be departing off of runway 33. We're going to be arriving runway, we're going to do the Cameron 4 to the 4 left. Execute. Alright, that is all good. Now we are going to prepare the plane to start. So parking brakes are set, battery switch is set to on, generators on. Alright, ignitions, we're going to arm. Ignitions, ECU, we're going to arm. Our engine synchronized switch is off. Our roll and rudder trim is normal. Our flaps are up, our landing gear is down, our spoilers are retracted, our fuel flow switches are cut off at the moment. Landing light switch is off, DI switch off, heater off, fuel cross feed switch normal, battery switch on, so we'll go ahead and click that on, which we already did. Panel instrument lights, we don't need that. Master test, fuel system checked. Boost pumps, we're going to set those to auto. It's right there. Boost pumps, fuel cross feeds checked, trim system, fasten seatbelts, no smoking. I'm going to kick those on. Fasten seatbelt, no smoking. Fuel quantity's good. Flight controls, we have already checked. Well, I guess we didn't since we started with you guys recording or whatever. So there we go. Flight controls are good. Avionics, we'll click them on. Boom, boom. Avionics, de-ice. And guys, bear with me. This is going to be my first flight that I've done in a while. There may be things that I'm skipping or may not do properly. Just, like I said, bear with me as I'm still learning this aircraft and flying in general. Alright, so we are going to put our transponder and beacons on, which is right here. I don't know which one the transponder is. I want to say it's recognition light, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh no, transponder, duh, standby. Alright, so that's our pre-start. Now we're gonna do our startup. Fuel flow switches are on. And we are gonna start our left engine first. We are going to wait for that number right there to hit 20. And that's when we'll introduce our fuel. 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, and that engine's firing up. While that one's firing up, we'll get our right one going. Same thing. We'll wait until it hits N2 hits 20 right here. Then we'll fire it up. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Engine's firing up. Okay. So now we could switch to turn our generators on. Switch to battery. We can kick off that external ground power that we had. Let's see. Pressure instruments. Our instruments are all working. We'll click these on. Alright. So we're looking good. Altimeter. Okay, let's set up our... So we're going to fly out of here to 7,000 feet. We are going to... Make sure that's all set right. FD... Navigation. We're gonna do vertical speed out. We're gonna do 2,500 feet per minute first. That should be good to go. Autopilot set. Instruments, altimeter set, flight display or FD on. Engine anti-ice required. Cabin science check. Alley power master test. Okay. Parking brakes, directional gyro. Turn coordinator, artificial horizon, taxi to assigned runway. Okay, so that's where we're gonna be now. And luckily our runway is just over there. So let me take a look at the overhead view here. Yep, see, we're gonna travel right up here to the left and to there and jump right on the runway. So we'll go ahead and release our parking brakes. Will give us just a little bit of power to get us moving. There we go. And we're gonna taxi up to the runway. When we get to the runway, we'll do our before we get on the runway, we'll do our before takeoff checklist, and then we will do our takeoff checklist, and then we will fly out of here. I'm not following these lines at all. There we go. And I'm probably going a little bit too fast. Let's slow this down a little bit. A lot of it, actually. Alright, so we're going to taxi to the end here. And then we're going to make our left. And we will hold short of the runway. I think we're coming up on it, yeah. Alright, so... These brakes, they're like on my joystick, there is no gradual. It's either you're all in or you're not at all. And that's why I keep jerking the brakes like that. But that was something also, you know, making sure the brakes worked. Thought it was a good thing. At least we know they work. Alright, this runway I believe is 33. We were going to depart out of 06, but we're going to depart out of 33 here. Alright, so we'll come up to this hold short line here. And we'll stop right there. Click our brake on. Alright, parking brake. Fuel cross feed normal. Fuel quantity and balance, we're good. Throttle idle, elevator trim set for takeoff. Flaps, we did not set flaps. Set them to 1. Spoilers retracted, flight controls free and correct. Engine instruments check. Flight instruments check. Takeoff data V1 VR V2 check. Radios and avionics set. Landing lights. Landing lights, strobe, and strobes are coming on. So landing lights and strobe. All right. Heaters on, anti-de-ice. Annunciator lights and transponder on. Okay, so we're ready to line up on the runway here. We'll go ahead and kick the brakes off. We'll get lined up. Give it a little throttle here to get us going. Yeah, these brakes are super sensitive. Alright, we are lined up on runway 33, flying out of Northeast Philadelphia. Alright, takeoff checklist. Increase thrust 40% and 1. Let's spool up. Takeoff thrust full. Brakes release. BRV2, yaw damper. Okay, so once we take off, we'll do that. All right, so we are set for takeoff. So just double check everything real quick. Make sure we set everything right. I think we're good to go. All right, so we're ready for takeoff. I had to restart because the program crashed for some reason. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. We're ready to take off. So we're gonna set throttle to 40%. Let them spool up. And we're gonna go all the way, full throttle. I'm climbing out of Philadelphia Northeast Airport. Runway 33. Everything's good so far. Coming up on V1. There's V1, and we're gonna rotate. Alright, gear up. She picked right up. That was beautiful. Alright, so we're gonna climb out. Continue climbing out. We hit our 1,000 feet mark. What are we climbing at? 2,300. So we'll go ahead and set our autopilot. We should make a turn. There we go. Autopilots are set. Flaps can come up. Let's see. Take off. Climb out. Pitch reduce 8 degrees. Trim for 240. Watch our speed. We're good. Autopilot, auto throttle check and activate. Landing lights can come off. Landing lights are off. And we are turning onto our mark. We gotta watch our speed. Make sure we don't go 250 under 10,000. Once we do hit that, we can go a little bit quicker. Start slowing down a little bit. There we go. And we are going to clear ourselves up to 15,000. And we'll continue our same climb rate. Actually, we'll go up a little bit more. We'll go up to 3,000. Alright, so we are turning onto our waypoints here. Our first one is going to be ditch right there. And climb out to ditch. That's about 23 miles. And that was a good takeoff if you ask me. I think it went pretty smooth. Other than my game crash, and like I said, right after I did all my takeoff checklists, my game crashed, so I had to close out and start the scenario over. But we are good. Flying out. Climbing out to Philadelphia. There's Philadelphia, the little bit of scenery that they do have that just got blocked. Our speed, we're doing pretty good. We can actually speed up a little bit. Not too much. Just breaking through the clouds here. Beautiful day out here. Alright. I'm waiting to see if we can see that city. There's a little piece of it over there. Alright, so we're going to start turning left a little bit here to line up with our waypoints. Yeah, let's take a look at the outside, if I can remember what button it is. There we go. Beautiful plane. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. Beautiful plane. Alright, let's get back inside here. Keep an eye on everything. Our cruise checklist. We're going to be cruising at 15,000 because we're not too far. JFK is like real close. Service ceiling, engine instruments, fuel quantity, radios, autopilot lights. And bear with me, guys. Like I said, I haven't flown in a while. I may, I've skipped some steps. I may have not done certain things correctly. All stuff that I'm learning. If there is anything, please feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to learn. Definitely big on constructive criticism. If you guys do like this, make sure you hit that like button. Definitely subscribe for me. We are going to continue to this waypoint. We're continuing to ditch. We're not that far out from it, about 13 miles from it. After ditch, we're going to go to CYN, Actually, I can even show you the flight list here. I like how they got the names Jimmy Fallon and stuff. Game Boy. But yeah, this is our flight plan, our legs. So we're not too far out. New York is a very, from the Northeast Airport, it is not a far flight at all. And it's very pleasant. I like doing it. You get to fly over Atlantic City. You get to fly out over the oceans a little bit. Definitely an enjoyable flight. Nice and relaxing. I'll kick these lights on if I can. I love the way the instrument lights look on here. That's just beautiful. So well done. So when fly at nighttime, it looks absolutely great. You can also kick this door open. We are on autopilot. We're fine. So I will go ahead and give you guys a quick tour. Coming up on our 15,000. We're going to jump in our back seat. There's the back of the plane. Put our windows down if we want. We don't have anybody on board today. There's the front. Like I said, a very, very nice plane. Looks like we're leveling out here because we're at our 15,000 mark, which also means, which I wasn't realizing, we could speed up. We could speed up much more. And hopefully we hold our altitude there. And we're coming up on our next marker. Let's see. Coming up on ditch. What's the other window? There we go. Ditch is right there, and we're gonna make a left, fly out over the coast, and jump onto our other waypoints. Cruising at 15,000. I'm gonna go ahead and click these cockpit lights off. I don't need them on. I think I probably could turn these up though. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there's our transition. We're gonna be making our left onto our next. Ooh, we gotta slow down. We're gonna hit that overspeed mark. I haven't figured out how to get the speed limiter to work on here, like the auto speed, or what's it called? Yeah, speed hold. Can't get that to work. Don't know why. It's probably me. It's not the plane. Just can't seem to figure it out. Every time I do, it just throws everything off, messes everything up. So I haven't really messed with it much. I've just been manually doing it. I haven't flown in a while. It's been a couple months. I stepped away from the game for a little while, focused on some other things, and did a reinstall actually of Windows. Got my excitement back, wanted to jump back into it and start learning the plane again. So this is my first flight in a very long time, and even back then when I was playing it frequently, I'm still a beginner. I'm still learning how to do all this stuff. Definitely a lot of fun. I do enjoy doing it. I haven't really done any long flights yet. I don't know if I would do it in this plane or not. I would probably, I don't know. I have the A320, which I have to learn how to use as well, or learn how to fly and do all that stuff. So one step at a time. I figured we start with the smaller plane that I enjoy the most and work our way up once we understand the functionality of this one. Alright, so just sit back, enjoy the flight, and I'll pick up the video or the audio when we start to descend. Alright, we are coming up to our next waypoint, and we are descending. We are descending down to 5,000 from 150. We're descending at 2,000 feet per minute. The runways are, the airport's over there. That's the airport right there, not textured in quite yet. We're going to go up here, we're going to make our right, and we should be lined up with the runway at that point. Whoa, sorry for the jumpiness there. I haven't done anything else. That's about where we're at. So once we get up here a little more and we make our right hand turn, we will go ahead and set our setup for our approach. It's going to be arm spoilers. Flaps will be 10 degrees. Speed. Then flaps 20 degrees. Landing gear will be down. Landing lights will be on. Obviously fasten seatbelt, no smoking. So pretty simple. Like I said, coming down to 5,000. Well, actually, we need to slow down because we're definitely over speeding here. I gotta be careful of that. I don't pay attention to that as much as I should. Let's see. So we're gonna make our right-hand turn up here. We'll slow down. Once we slow down, we'll drop our gear and we'll put our flaps out. Let's get our speed way down. We need to get down to about 145, 190, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. I don't know why I said it like that. Somewhere in there. So we gotta come way down on the speed. There goes our right-hand turn. We're gonna keep ourselves descending down to 3,000. We'll descend a little bit quicker here. We will pull our flaps if I can. Yikes. Can't see them. Shoot. How do I do this from here? Oh, right seat. There we go. Pulled our flaps. We'll go back to our regular seat. Hopefully the plane will correct for that. Our landing lights are already on. We'll go ahead and close the doors so we're not distracted here. There we go. We are lined up, coming down to 3,000 feet. Gonna bring it down to 2. No, what are you doing? Why are you lining? Alright, we're gonna take over. So we have the aircraft now. Move my mic a little bit here. Alright, so we are going to continue descending. You can see the runway in front of us. Let's get our gear down now that we're at safe speeds for gear. We'll maintain our speeds. I think we're a little bit left, so I'm going to try and get us back a little bit more right. There we go. Hopefully that's lined up pretty well. Let's try and bring her in without floating her. Last couple landings I did, I floated her right over the runway. But it looks like we're coming in pretty good on this one.
2,500.
There's our 2,500 call out. This is KJFK. And we're down, almost down to 2,000. I think down to 2,100 now. Our gear is down. Checked all 3 green lights. Our flaps are set. We could go another notch of flaps now that we're down this far. Whoa. There we go. Make sure the plane doesn't overcompensate for that. Continuing in, we'll give just a little bit of speed. We're coming in a little bit slow. Just a little bit there, just to keep us above water, for lack of a better way of saying it. Keep descending here. Our flaps made us pitch up a little bit, so we'll just correct that. Still not quite lined up perfectly, but once we get a little closer, I'll be able to line up a little bit better. I'm not using the ILS. I know I set it for ILS, but I am not using ILS. And that call out we just had was 1,000 feet. I haven't learned to use the ILS in this aircraft yet. Another thing that I'm hoping to do soon. Alright, we can start slowing it down a lot more. I think we might be a little high too.
500.
Think rate.
Oh.
Think rate.
Yeah, see, we're coming in a little bit
rate.
fast.
Think rate.
Pitch it up some. Yeah, we came in a little high.
Minimums. Minimums.
That's alright, we can do it. That's why our sync rate's screaming at us, because we're coming in way too quick.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And we're down. Look at that. Boom. So that was a little bit rough on the end there, but it was still a very smooth landing. I think we did pretty well. And we'll just continue to taxi down here, and we'll hop off the runway as soon as we can. That wasn't bad. I don't think that was bad at all. Put our flaps up. And we should be able to jump off the runway here. Slow down a little bit. Like I said, those brakes, there's nothing in between. It's either full on or full off. There we go. We are off the runway. We will check out that replay real quick.
Sync rate. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Alright, so that wasn't that bad. We came in a little bit high, we came in a little bit fast, which is why we got yelled at the end there with the sync rates. But that wasn't bad for, you know, first flight after a long time. We'll have to tighten that up some though, but make sure you guys hit that like button, definitely subscribe, and please leave a comment if there's any advice that you have that I made mistakes on or anything like that. Let me know so that I can correct that, maybe learn from it. And hope to see you guys tag along on the next one. Thank you guys.